Welcome to Echoes of Dread. Tonight's story, The Black Lake. A weekend getaway that turned four college kids into fish food at a lake that should have stayed empty. Let's get started.
Derek, park ranger.
I found their car Tuesday morning. Honda Civic, engine still running, doors wide open like they just vanished mid-sentence. Keys dangling from the ignition, music still playing some shitty pop song on repeat. 4 backpacks in the trunk. Enough food for a week. Here's the thing. Nobody comes to Blackwater Lake in October. Nobody's smart, anyway. The tire tracks showed they drove right past the warning sign. Of course, you can barely see the damn thing through all that brush. Been meaning to clear it out for years, but budget cuts, you know? Always budget cuts when people die.
I'm Maya. We weren't supposed to be there. That's what I kept telling myself. Like it matters now. Brad found the place on some hiking forum. Hidden gem, no crowds, perfect for a getaway. Fucking Brad. Always had to find the secret spots, the places nobody else knew about. It was me, Brad, Jessica, and Tommy. We'd been planning this since summer. Get away from campus, drank some beers, maybe skinny dip if we got brave enough. 4 friends celebrating midterms being over. God, we were so stupid. The drive took 3 hours through nothing but pine trees and empty roads. When we finally got there, it was beautiful, I guess. This perfect mirror of water surrounded by forests, not another soul for miles. Brad was grinning like he discovered fucking Atlantis.
The afternoon sun cuts through the October air, warming skin that doesn't know it's already dead. The lake sits patient, black as motor oil, waiting.
I'm Tommy.
The water was cold as hell, but we didn't care. We were drunk on freedom, you know? No professors, no deadlines, just us and this massive lake that looked like black glass. Brad spotted this raft maybe 50 yards out and dared us to swim to it. Classic Brad, always pushing, always testing. I went first. Water felt weird against my skin, kinda thick, but I figured it was just lake scum or whatever. Jessica followed, then Maya, then Brad bringing up the rear like always, making sure nobody got left behind. That's when I saw the duck. I was maybe halfway to the raft when this duck just disappeared. 1 second, it's paddling around. The next second, gone. No splash, no struggle, just nothing. Like the water opened up and swallowed it whole. I stopped swimming, treading water, waiting for it to come back up. It never did.
I'm Jessica. Tommy was acting weird when we reached the raft. Kept looking around, saying something about a duck, but I didn't see shit. The raft was this old wooden thing, probably been there for decades. Felt solid enough when we climbed on, though it creaked like it might fall apart. We were catching our breath, laughing about how cold the water was, when Maya pointed at something floating near the raft's edge. At first I thought it was an oil spill, this black, shiny mass just sitting on the surface like someone dumped a bucket of tar. "What the fuck is that?" I asked. Brad, being Brad, had to get closer. Probably just algae or something. The lake's been stagnant for months. He leaned over the edge, reaching out with one finger like he was gonna poke it. I wanted to tell him to stop, but the words wouldn't come. Something about that black stuff made my skin crawl. The second his finger touched it, the thing moved.
4 shapes cluster on rotting wood above hungry water. Below them, something older than the lake itself stretches and wakes. It has been patient. It can't be patient any longer. But fresh meat calls to empty bellies, and autumn brings the last feast before winter's long sleep.
Maya here. It grabbed Brad's wrist faster than I could blink. This black tendril just shot up from the water and wrapped around his arm like a fucking snake. Brad screamed, not surprised, but terrified, like he knew what was coming. The thing pulled him down so fast he barely had time to take a breath. 1 second he was on the raft with us, next second there was just this churning black water where he used to be. No bubbles, no thrashing, nothing.
like the lake just ate him. We were screaming, all three of us, but there was nobody to hear, nobody for miles and miles. Tommy grabbed a piece of broken board from the raft, stabbing at the water like that would do something. Jessica was crying, calling Brad's name over and over. That's when we remembered. It was October. Off-season. The park rangers don't patrol out here until spring. We were completely alone with whatever the hell just took our friend.
Tommy here. That black shit was everywhere now. Not just one blob, but dozens of them, floating around the raft like lily pads made of oil. We huddled in the center, afraid to get too close to the edges. Every few minutes, one of the things would bump against the wood, testing it. "We have to swim for shore," I said. "It's our only chance." Maya shook her head.
Did you see what it did to Brad? We'll never make it 50 yards.
Jessica was barely holding it together.
Maybe if we wait until dark, it might go away.
But I could see it wasn't going anywhere. The black masses were getting bigger, merging together, like they were preparing for something. And I swear to God, I could feel the raft getting softer under my feet. The wood was starting to sag. "Guys," I said, pointing down, "I think it's coming through the boards."
The raft was dissolving. That's the only way I can describe it. The wood wasn't rotting, it was being eaten. These thin black lines spreading between the planks like infection. Tommy was right. The thing was seeping up through the cracks. Jessica was closest to the edge when it happened. I watched something cold and black wrap around her ankle, gentle at first, like pondweed. Then it tightened, and I knew she was dead. "Help me!" she screamed, but what could we do? Tommy grabbed her arms, trying to pull her back, but the thing was stronger. It yanked her down through the raft, not around it, through it, like the wood wasn't even there. The last thing I saw was Jessica's face, eyes wide with terror, as the black water closed over her head. The last thing I heard was this burning, bubbling sound, like acid eating through skin. She screamed for almost 30 seconds after she went under. I can still hear her.
Night falls on the lake like a funeral shroud. Two shapes huddle on what remains of the raft, taking turns watching water that no longer reflects stars. They whisper promises they can't keep, make plans that won't matter. Below them, patience wears thin.
We made it through the night somehow, took turns staying awake, watching for any sign of movement in the water. The black stuff seemed less active in the dark, maybe sleeping, maybe just waiting. When morning came, I thought we might actually survive this. Tommy was still breathing, still warm beside me. For just a moment, watching the sunrise paint the water gold, I forgot about the horror lurking below. I kissed him. Stupid, right? My two best friends were dead, dissolved in lake water, and I was making out with the only other survivor. But we were alive, and that had to mean something. Tommy kissed me back, gentle at first, then desperate, like he was trying to forget what we'd seen. I closed my eyes, let myself pretend we were back at school, safe in his dorm room. That's when he started screaming. I opened my eyes and saw it. Half his face was black, covered in that oily substance. It had seeped through the raft while we weren't paying attention, crept up his body like spilled paint. He was clawing at it, trying to scrape it off, but it just spread faster.
"Maya, run!"
He gasped, but his voice was already changing, getting muffled.
"Swim, now!"
The thing pulled him off the raft before I could move. I watched Tommy disappear into that black water, watched it close over him like a mouth. Then I dove. I swam harder than I'd ever swum in my life. I could feel that thing behind me, reaching up through the water, but terror gave me speed that I didn't know I had. My lungs burned, my muscles screamed, but I kept going. When my feet finally touched sand, I crawled onto the beach and collapsed, gasping. I'd made it. I was alive. "I beat you," I screamed at the lake, tears streaming down my face. I fucking beat you! That's when the water behind me started to rise. It came up like a black tidal wave, towering over me, blotting out the sun. I tried to run, but my legs were rubber. The thing crashed down and swallowed me whole. The last thing I remember is a taste of oil and the sound of my own bones dissolving.
Found 4 bodies over the next week. Well, parts of bodies. The lake kept spitting up pieces, a hand here, a foot there. All of them burned like they'd been dipped in acid. Maya made it the furthest. Her tracks showed she actually reached the beach, got maybe 10 feet onto dry land. There were drag marks leading back to the water, big ones like something massive had hauled her back in. But the tracks just stopped at the waterline, like whatever made them had vanished. The coroner couldn't explain the burns, said it looked like they'd been dissolved from the inside out. I didn't tell her about the black stains I found on the shore, or how they seemed to move when I wasn't looking directly at them. The lake returns to stillness. 4 sets of clothes lie scattered on the shore like shed skin. A Honda Civic ticks as its engine finally dies, radio falling silent. In the thick brush behind the parking area, a weather-beaten sign creaks in the morning breeze. No swimming, danger, lake closed by order of State Health Department. The paint is faded, the letters barely visible through years of neglect. But the warning remains, patient as the thing that makes it necessary. Sometimes the most important warnings are the ones you can't see. Check the brush, look behind the trees. What's hidden might be the only thing standing between you and something hungry. If you made it this far, would you have made it to the shore? I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you've got any bone-chilling lake or camping experiences, send them my way. Your story could be the next one to haunt someone's waking hours. Hit that like button if this story got under your skin, subscribe for more dark tales, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a nightmare.